What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Booth, and today we have my home girl from the city, Bella De León.
Hey.
Shout out to Bella. If you didn't see, we just did a new disco mix up here, so you can click that if you want to watch that, and then come watch Behind the Booth. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Bella, how are you feeling today?
I am feeling fantastic, especially after that mix.
Yeah.
I'm feeling great. How about yourself?
I'm doing great too. Yo, if you didn't see, she was blending. Man, she was cutting out the bass. Everything, her mixing was flawless. So I was definitely,
Thank you.
you did your thing. So
Thank you
I was just paying attention. So let's rewind it back a little bit. So when did you start DJing?
I started DJing back in Mississippi, where I grew up, at 13 years old.
Really?
Yes.
13 years old.
13.
So how did you get into DJing from there?
Well, I always really been into music.
Okay.
I grew up with my mom over in Mississippi. She's originally from Jersey.
Okay. Okay.
And she always had music playing, like whenever we were out or at home. I grew up with a lot of R&B and a lot of like 80s,
Nice.
some old school house music from her. And at that time, at 13, I thought it wasn't cool to play piano anymore, or I basically just dropped all my hobbies.
Wow.
So I wasn't doing anything.
Okay.
And my mom's a hairdresser. This one female DJ, shout out to Nikki Styles. She came in and they decided to do a trade. So she would get her hair done and then she would teach me lessons.
Wow.
So it was off of a trade. I was her roadie for a little bit, and then eventually I started playing just all in the Southeast, like in Louisiana, Alabama, Florida.
That's what's up.
Thank you.
And then, what equipment did you learn on, or what equipment did you get first? Or like, what did you start? How was that journey?
My first one was like a tiny Newmark controller.
Okay.
It's probably like $40-$50.
Yeah,
somewhere around there,
hey,
you know.
Hey.
But it was probably like the size of the 72, and I would just carry that along with me, and then Mississippi, it's a small but very solid DJ community.
Really? Okay.
I just started asking around of like, hey, does anyone have CDJs? And with like the small gigs, I saved up and bought some 800s. Wow. And then I was able to get a Rain 62 as well.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And you started on Serato?
I started on Serato, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I jumped into immediately CDJs.
Wow. So from CDJs, Serato, to where you're at now. So how did you make the migration from Mississippi to playing in the city?
I had opportunities that started coming into my life.
Mm-hmm.
For example, when I was playing, I was actually modeling in Florida, and I met Christian Siriano through South Walton Fashion Week. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Vi Magazine and South Walton.
Okay.
It was through another profession to where I was able to move to New York.
Wow.
And really pursue it.
Mm-hmm.
We started talking, and he found out that I was a DJ. Mm-hmm. And he was like, hey, come up and play one of my New York Fashion Week parties. Wow. And I was like 17, 18 at the time.
Really?
So I had to have like adult supervision.
Really?
And just like people checking up on me. I would play, and then I'd have to exit immediately.
Oh.
Like it was super supervised. So one of my first gigs was at Soho Grand.
Really?
Yeah, it was
outside. Not even 21 yet.
Not even 21 yet.
Bro.
And I ended up getting signed with a modeling agency too. So I was like, okay, I got 2 incomes going. Mm-hmm. Now's the time. And then I just been doing it since. Been in New York for 6 years now.
Wow. That's. And then we're gonna get to your New York journey. So I wanted to know, like, have you encountered any unique challenges being a female DJ, either in Mississippi or in New York or the tri-state area? Have you encountered any challenges?
Yes. Since I started at such a young age and being a female, I was only surrounded by everyone was older than me, you know. So it was I had to be really annoying, really like pushy to be like, hey, I really want to play at this venue, and I just had to be a lot more assertive and had to be really confident to really try to get into those spaces. And I felt like I had to put a lot of, like, I don't want to say like extra. No. Let me word this. I had to put it like some crazy effort because I was a kid and a female just trying to go into the...
So already being young and a female trying to play with people that are even way older than you, and like, man, it
was just like befriending other DJs, you know, asking them like, hey, you know, I would love to like either learn from you, can you be my mentor? Shout out to Skinny Hendrix.
Okay, Skinny Hendrix, we see you, Skinny Hendrix.
He was actually the first to introduce me to vinyl.
Wow.
Amazing scratcher.
Wow.
But he really co-signed me and like had me under his wing, and really supported me and, you know, helped me out find gigs. And, you know, word of mouth came around once I was, say, about like 16, 17. I was able to do more when I came to New York, especially when I didn't have representation, those little gaps in between, you know. There's been situations where it's like a gig from Instagram and then the booker ends up being like really sus, and those kind of situations. And, you know, all these are 90% late at night. So I had situations where I had to like dip out because like they were just being creepy, or like bring a male friend, somebody.
Sometimes just to be there.
Especially like starting out, you know, you're surviving in New York at first. You know, it is a struggle at the beginning. So it made me really street smart. You know, coming from Mississippi to New York, it's a whole other base. So yeah, it is still tough. I think we're getting better as in the DJ world. We're having more female DJs. We're creating more safer spaces, but it's still not quite there yet. But we're getting there. Getting
there. And what would you say is like your favorite or like your go-to genres that you enjoy? I know we just did new disco. Like what does Bella De León like her genres?
Well, besides new disco, I really do like to play a lot of house and everything experimental. Underneath the roof of house music. I like it. I really like to try to experiment and genre bend. Sometimes some tech house, techno.
I like that.
Some Latin house.
Okay, Latin house, I love that. Afro house too.
Afro house.
Yes.
But every now and then I do really love playing like an old school hip hop set too.
Ooh. Yes. And would you say like some of your gigs you do, you can have funky sets and do you do like open format sets too?
Yes, so I definitely do a combination. I really like to keep my palette broad because I don't know, like it's fun to jump around. It's like one day I want to do, you know, more hip hop, or one day I want to do more house. So.
Depending on, and also being a good DJ is reading the crowd too. So because you never know what kind of
you never know what you're gonna step into. There's been times where it was supposed to be a strictly house set. And at the end of the night, I ended up playing a Sexy Red remix and Drake, you know, you never know.
So, and that's being able to adjust, you know, being able to adjust and not like, oh, they said it was house, so that's all I'm doing. But like, if the crowd is not rocking with it or whatever, then, you know, you have to be able to adapt.
Exactly.
You know, so, and how, because I know you do corporate and you do nightlife, how is blending both of those been? Like, you know, do you prefer to do more corporate, more nightlife, or do you like the balance?
I do like the balance because corporate, I feel like it's a bit more of an intimate environment. You're closer to the people, and it's usually like a slightly smaller group than compared to like a whole nightclub. And you can just kind of like relax a bit, like when it comes to corporate. But I do have to say nightlife is still my favorite. I love like a solid underground club, or I really love rooftops when it's warmer out.
Those are the best.
It's like some sunset. Yes.
And we were both doing this. I was literally thinking about the sunset. That was funny.
Yeah.
Word. Oh man. Let's see. Can you share a memorable experience or performance that stands out in your career? So I remember you said 2023 off air. You said 2023 was one of your best.
That was such a fun year. I played gov ball.
Let's go outside. Okay.
I played gov ball. I did like a early set.
Nice.
And I had such a blast. I was able to really just play whatever I wanted to, really express myself, to show who I am as a DJ. So
I love that.
That one was exhilarating.
Wow, that's a big one. And then, so we know you're under 4 a.m. How did that come about to being signed under 4 a.m.? Like that transition from being like a lone wolf to now having representation?
It's amazing. Marty, shout out to Marty Rock.
Marty Rock.
He was like, hey, do you want to, come in, join 4 a.m.? And I was like, absolutely. And Gov Ball was actually my first gig with them.
Wow.
Yeah. They're like, all right, let's go, full swing.
So 2023, you got signed with them.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So give or take 6 months, somewhere in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fresh on the roster.
Yeah.
Fresh on the roster.
And they're fantastic team. I can't be any more grateful and appreciative being with them. They're awesome. Shout out 4 a.m.
Shout out to 4 a.m. We
Yeah.
see you, baby. Cheers. That's what's up. In what ways do you connect with your audience and make your performances unique?
The way I connect with my audience and what makes the performance unique?
Yeah. Meaning like when you have your audience, like say you're doing a hip hop set, do you look at the crowd and be like, maybe they might like 90s hip hop, maybe 80s hip hop, like, how do you make yourself stand out to be like, you know what? They see a bunch of DJs and it's just like, how do I make them remember Bella De León,
Don't be predictable.
I like that.
Because sometimes when you're playing a set, it's like, okay, I feel like there's a mood shift. Or like, let me look at the hour. All right, we're getting to like 1 a.m. I've kind of been on like the disco for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd throw in like a ballet funk. I don't know, just something to like switch.
Yeah. I like
the scene, switch the crowd, because it keeps it exciting, and it's like, oh, what is she gonna do next?
Yes.
I
do like that.
I like being unpredictable.
Yo, that's what's up. So I asked you about the challenges that you faced with being a female in this space. What would you say is one of your what was one of your craziest experiences? Like, it could be good, bad. Like, maybe someone gave you like, here's a X amount of tip or whatever. But like, what's one of your? If you could think about it, what's one of the wildest things that you've seen, like when you've been DJing?
When you mentioned the tip, I mean, it's not the wildest, but I have been thrown money, like a stripper. It's not my profession.
Yeah. Especially when they have a stack and they're not scared to, they're just like, and the best is like, if you just play the song that they want, you're like, oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Oh no, cash tips are very appreciated. Tip your DJ if you really want that song.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So, and then modeling and DJing, how is balancing both of that? Like, because you have 2 agencies that you're working for.
Yes, so it is just really being on top of your calendar.
So you live by the calendar?
I do, yes. I didn't when I was younger.
Yeah.
I was just, nonstop.
Yeah.
Just doing like 24-hour benders. Horrible. As I'm getting a little older, it's like, okay, we need to have like some little breaks here and there. Usually like Sundays and my Mondays, like that's kind of like my downtime, somewhere around there. And then since with modeling that starts at like 8 a.m. call time, sometimes even 6 or 7. It's early. So I make sure that there's some gap to where I can get that beauty rest, because if I don't get that beauty rest, it's totally going to show up on camera.
Wow.
So just honestly, experience. It's been trial and error with both, but right now I got a good flow.
I like that.
We've grown, so
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And lastly, where can we see Bella De León going? So like, what's the trajectory we're looking for, like, or what you're looking to do?
I want to be international. Absolutely. I want a boiler room set.
Ooh.
I want to start releasing, which I'm finally producing now, so I'm trying to release music this year.
Okay.
I am collaborating with like a bunch of other music producers, and I'm in some good hands. So I'm really excited. Once those are all finished and ready to be out in the world, and really pushing to the next step into becoming more of an artist.
Like that, 2024.
2024.
What better time to start than now, right?
Exactly.
And where can the people find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Bella the DJ, SoundCloud Bella De León, Mixcloud Bella De León. Yes, those are my socials. Oh, TikTok Bella the DJ.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. You heard it first, baby. Yo, you already know what it is. Bella De León. Behind the booth. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate you. You killed the mix.
Thank you very much.
Yo, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and DJ Julz. We outside with it. Cheers!